This is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous, good-looking friends. Do you remember when Harry came to New York City and did his fake global statesman tour? He also took some time to go visit the Jimmy Fallon show, and he was caught actually coming out of a tattoo parlor. Well, many suspected that he was getting some type of tattoo, and we all joked about it, but didn't know really why he was there. Well, today it's been revealed that the whole thing was another promo for the Invictus Games with Jelly Roll.
Tattoo chair in the tattoo station, and you know what?
Hey, tattoos. Speaking of,
Hey.
what's up, man? So good to meet you. I'm such a fan, dude. Do you know I could not believe it when they called me and told me Prince Harry wanted to get a tattoo today, and he wanted me to give him his first tattoo?
No.
This
Why
is
are you
the
wearing
coolest
gloves?
thing
Why are you wearing a glove?
We're giving you a tattoo about the Invictus Games.
No, I came here to ask you to do the Invictus Games. There's no tattoo in this.
Look, I know that this is being picky, but considering how arrogant Prince Harry is, the fact that he's saying, I came here to ask you to do the Invictus Games, not saying, hey, are you available, during this time? I would like if you could come perform, or no, I have come here to ask you to do it. Look, I get it. I know that this was scripted and Jelly Roll had already agreed that he was going to be doing this, but it's the fact that they couldn't insert the word please into this, and considering what we know about Prince Harry and all of the shitty things that he has done, not only to his family, but also here in the United States, it just comes across as very entitled to me. That's my opinion.
I can't get a tattoo.
I'll play the Invictus Games. You just let me give you your first tattoo.
You give me a tattoo, and then you come and play the Invictus Games.
That easy of a deal.
All right, screw it. Let's go. Let's do it. Where you want it?
We gotta go for the neck.
The neck?
Yes.
No, I was thinking like my lower back or my ass.
Let me just...
Wait, have you done this before?
What? You practically. Pretty much. Trust me, man. You wouldn't want nobody else doing this but me.
A small one, yeah.
Like a baby getting its first haircut. Just
Okay. Yeah, I should have had it on my ass. Okay. That feels big, man.
commitment, Prince.
Ah! Whoa.
Look, I don't understand why Harry's acting so foolish here. Considering Harry was in the military and he allegedly fought in combat, he's sure acting like a little bitch. And I get that this is not a real tattoo, but still, he looks like a puss.
What's that?
It's awesome, right?
Dude, it's enormous.
Invictus Games are enormous.
What does that say at the bottom?
The bottom?
Is that your name? Does that say Jelly Roll?
No.
You put your name on my neck?
You know what? I gotta go.
Wait,
Thank you for
wait.
your time. I'll see you in Vancouver,
Are you
Prince.
serious?
I'll be there. Appreciate you.
This whiny little bitch has a higher voice than I do. I highly doubt that Harry knew Jelly Roll was a Trump supporter. In fact, I doubt he even knew who Jelly Roll was in the first place. Now, I'm willing to bet that Harry charged Invictus for this little skit that he did with Jelly Roll. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Harry charged Invictus for this appearance fee to promote the games, which was at the Grey Cup in Vancouver.
What we're looking forward to, the game getting started. Let's go.
Hey, we've been on for 5 hours.
Welcome Invictus Games Team Canada member Wing Xuan Nai.
Now, I'm not really sure about the health of this organization. However, it does appear that they are expanding in different avenues, making it more inclusive for Tom, Dick, and Harry to be able to participate. I don't know what this woman's deal is. She's not physically handicapped or disabled. Perhaps maybe just because she served in the military, she qualifies to play for the Invictus Games. I don't know. But as you can see, this is no longer what it started out to be, which was focusing on people who were disadvantaged in society, even though they had served their countries, but got injured in combat fighting for our freedoms. This was supposed to be giving them back purpose. Two things that absolutely infuriate me about this guy, Harry, that makes me so sick to my stomach whenever I see his face is one, whenever he's preying on our military and veterans, knowing full well that he is behind the scenes undermining the very same freedoms that these soldiers had fought and risked their lives over. And then you have the other side of it, Harry going after and indoctrinating the youth and grooming them. To me, he's nothing but a predator. So it should be no surprise that Invictus Games Foundation is now going after the youth, targeting ages as early as elementary school, which is starting at 5 years old, all the way up to high school. On the surface, when you look at the marketing around promoting this new program, might look harmless and non-threatening. It might even look like a good idea. But when you look under the cover and you understand who is behind and supporting this program, it then takes a sinister turn. Now, from what I gather on the Vancouver Invictus Games website, this is a curriculum that has been launched out to be in line with the Vancouver Whistler Games in 2025, to which teachers, and I'm not sure if they mandated this in the school district in Vancouver or if this is a mandate across Canada, definitely not here in the United States, but they want this curriculum to teach students about resiliency, respect, and resourcefulness. Apparently, it's a 1 to 5 day lesson plan that will inspire, allegedly, students to spark meaningful dialogue around the themes of inclusivity and resilience. Now, when we take a look at one of these curriculum plans, let's take, for example, grades 9 through 12. As you can see here, they're putting up there building resilience through the inspiration of the Invictus Games, the marketing bullshit. But right below it, where it says psychology, social, and emotional lesson plans, that's the real agenda. Now, just saying, this is from grades 9 through 12. They're going to be doing this at the elementary level. Now, if you're a parent, ask yourself this question. Would you appreciate putting your child into a school where the teachers are now psychologically manipulating them? I don't think so. That's why this shit's so dangerous. And now Harry's asserting himself with his Invictus Games Foundation that should have nothing to do with children, is now incorporating your children to teach them how to think, how to feel, what to do in society, how to act. I'm sorry, but this needs to stop. And we see this going on with this capacity building from these globalists. And who do you think is behind this? Well, NATO, of course. The UN, of course. I mean, you can't escape these people. No matter how hard you try, you can't just get a break and just say, leave my children alone. They're mine, not yours. This is what these globalists have been doing. They're going after the youth from the very beginning. From the moment they come out of the womb, they want to get them in order to control and psychologically manipulate them and groom them into this mindset of the collective, of sacrificing yourself for the greater the good. I mean, NATO is behind this. And, here is an organization who wants forever war. Look at what's happening right now. We're probably at this moment in World War III. I mean, there hasn't been anything official, but what is going on and how NATO and the United States have been provoking Russia, all for what? All because they don't want to give up power? This is the problem with these people. And now you're going to sacrifice your child into being brainwashed into this garbage? Let me go ahead and show you one of the exercises that they have included in this curriculum from grades 9 through 12, focusing on English. So it is the Invictus Games Inspiration Through Poetry. I'm going to read you a poem, and then I'm going to show you what they're asking 9th through 12th graders to go ahead and evaluate and analyze. You tell me how much inspiration you get from this poem. Now, before I get into this poem, I just want to point out that this curriculum includes student information handouts that they're giving to the students. And on it, they are forcing them to watch the Heart of Invictus trailer and also watch the Heart of Invictus on Netflix, pushing that propaganda. So do you see how this education system is allowing this to brainwash the children? What gets me is this second paragraph where it says, I am is the motto for the Invictus Games and is inspired by the last two lines of Invictus. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. I am reflects and defines the Invictus Games' core purpose, to provide a platform for personal achievement to compete not just against each other, but against oneself. You see, here is the problem with these globalists and the ones that are exploiting vulnerable people. It's the fact that they all lack one thing, and that is God in their life. When I see that Invictus is promoting this motto of I am, to me, I feel insulted. As a Christian, you're going to go ahead and use I am, which to us is God, to represent yourself. It's one thing to use it as your motto and your marketing for your organization, but it's another thing to impose this ideology onto kids who may come from Christian backgrounds or other backgrounds where they put God first. And here they're actually telling them that it's you need to put first, and you are the one who's in charge about whatever happens to you. As a parent, I would be so livid about this because essentially what they're doing is they are brainwashing the children. So they choose the well-known poem Invictus by William Ernst Henley, and it goes, "Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody but unabowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how strait the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul." So now comes the exercise, and they want these kids to feel the darkness and pain that this poem is sitting in. So as you can see, they want them to go back through and highlight the figurative language, smiles, metaphor, personification, as well as the sound device of alliteration. Besides your highlights, explain the effect of the poetic device and how it adds to the meaning. And then it goes into saying at bullet number 3, with your partner, look at each couplet to find the meaning. Go back to the poem and underline keywords and use your knowledge about the definition of the keywords and how these keywords might be a metaphor for something else. Write your ideas in the blank space beside the poem. And here's the example they give. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole. You have it listed, dark, gloomy, scary, a time when people could feel depressed, scared, alone. Surrounds, envelops, suffocates, heaviness, a strong menacing color, power, death. South and North Poles, the whole world. It says here the author is feeling incredibly depressed and alone. This despair has taken over his whole body and his whole world. So injecting this darkness and depression, and we all know that Harry bangs on about this generation being anxious all the time. Well, who do you think's making them anxious? It's these very same people who continuously talk about depressing things. Everything is so, pessimistic with this guy. And when you're introducing this into an environment where kids are learning it, what do you think is going to happen as they get older? They're going to become more anxious. They're going to become more depressed. They're going to see life in this very skewed view, all because these assholes are injecting it into their heads with this psychological manipulation. Like, why couldn't they use a poem that provided more inspiration, like Emily Dickinson's Hope is a Thing with Feathers? And even though it doesn't directly use the word Invictus, it still speaks to an inner resilience and an unyielding spirit, much like the theme of being unconquered, which, essentially that's the lesson, right? The exercise then continues on to directing these students now to go research on the United States Department of Veterans Affairs website to research the psychological impact of physical battle scars, pointing them to an article from February 12, 2015. Now, help me understand why they are directing students who are not Americans to go visit United States government websites. Invictus is not a U.S.-sponsored event, nor do we recognize it like how we recognize it from the Warrior Games. So why are they putting our government website for students and children to go look at? If you're Canadian and have children in this school system, you should be outraged that they are doing this, because the way that I see it is maybe Canada can't spy on these students, and perhaps maybe this is a Five Eyes situation to where information about these students, if they're being tracked, could be used later on to then recruit them for the military. I don't know. I'm just putting that out there. I just find it really disturbing that Harry and his organization couldn't put this on their own website and direct them to read this information and do that research there with the Invictus Games Foundation, as opposed to sending them to the United States government website. And the other thing that doesn't seem kosher here is you mean to tell me that they did not have a more current reference they could give these students than to give them this article from 2015? Like, you mean to tell me there has been no developments or advancements or new information that has been uncovered about the psychological impact of physical battle scars? You know, it's infuriating that Harry now has infiltrated the education system in order to indoctrinate children in this woke mind virus. I mean, seriously, looking at this, it just doesn't make me feel comfortable at all. Like, these people are legit predators. They want to exploit your kids. They want to use your kids for whatever purpose they seem fit. And to me, I think Harry and Meghan are about as evil as they come. Harry, where are your kids? Like, why didn't you bring Archie with you to enjoy some of this inclusion and resilience? Help me understand why you feel the need to use other people's children to boost your image. Because right here in this photo, you look angry as hell. These elitist parasites don't care about who they exploit or who they abuse. They're going to continue to keep doing it. And sadly, this prick is in our faces 24/7. He's not getting it through his head that people just don't like him because of his arrogance, because he lacks any type of humility. And, you know, you look back and you reflect upon the whole Pat Tillman situation. How disgusting was he to double down and accept that award and be so disrespectful to Pat Tillman's mother? Now, the final thing that I want to say real quick about this video is that even though Harry has been doing his ultimate best over the last 3 months to rehabilitate his image, in my personal opinion, it's not working. In fact, I see him even that much more repulsive because they are shoving this man in our faces now almost on a daily basis. And when you know that this stuff is not genuine and it's all an act and it's all for PR, it just makes you turn off even more. And yeah, I get it. I get so many people are sick of it, but we still have to talk about it because he wants us to forget about the last 6 years and the things that he has done, especially the Americans and his participation with silencing other Americans and infringing on their civil rights. And that's something that I am not going to get tired of and will continue to keep talking about and still be a thorn in his side until someone from Congress brings him in and questions him. That's really what needs to happen because this psychological warfare is still ongoing and it's happening to people in this community and nothing is being done. Or at least, you know, it's not at the right people to actually do something about it. Like, I really wish that journalists in the mainstream media would pick this up, but something tells me that they can't pick it up, especially those in the UK, because of how afraid they are now of speaking out about certain things for fear that they might get locked up. So now you understand the importance of free speech. Now you understand why I harp on it like 24/7 is because what Harry did here in the United States violated our core fundamental, a right that God had given us here in the United States. I mean, he's given it to everybody around the world, but unfortunately, not every country respects and understands that. But here in the United States, we do. And the fact that he violated that, I'm sorry, is not going to be swept under the rug. As much as he wants, it will not, as long as I'm here. And on that note, what do you guys think? Definitely leave your thoughts below. As always, I will be back with more content. But until then, please be safe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Such a fraud.